Welcome.
Is it playing? Because I don't. Yes.
Okay, so I wanted to play that quick video to present a few quick facts about today, World Menstrual Hygiene Day. First, we want to say welcome from the Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated Delta Iota Zeta chapter. We have on the line today Mr. Augustine Koo of Payless Pass joining us. We'll allow him to introduce ourselves for a blue Palava hut tuck on International Menstrual Hygiene Day. Today is May 28th, 2022. So welcome, Mr. Koo, and welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Frida.
Yeah, we're
And
happy.
thank you to Zeta team.
Oh, yes, we're happy to have you today. Thank you. So, Mr. Koo, we worked with you last year on International Menstrual Hygiene Day. We were able to donate 260 pad kits to the Ann Sandell School in Paynesville, Monrovia. And we were grateful for that partnership. While we observe the impact of that over the next couple of years before we donate again, we wanted to commemorate today by speaking with you. I have my sorority sister on the line as well. So Akwewogi, do you want to introduce yourself as well?
Hello, I am Korbagai Kwewogi, treasurer for the Delta Iota Zeta chapter.
Thank you, and welcome, Sora. Welcome, Sora, for being on the line. I neglected to introduce myself. My name is Frida Kumsen. I'm the president for the Delta Iota Zeta chapter of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. And so, Mr. Koo, could you tell us a little bit about Payless Pass, why you started the company, why is it so important in Liberia, especially in this time that we're in?
Okay, Frida, I want to say thank you to you. I want to say thank you to your team for affording this opportunity to be able to speak on this International Menstrual Hygiene Day. So basically, Payless Cloth Pod is a Liberian social venture specifically into the production of sustainable menstrual pads. And for girls who are being challenged by pure poverty. So our vision is we want to make sure that girls everywhere, including outside of Liberia, have an access to sustainable menstrual pads. You know, because the The issue about girls accessing sanitary pads, the importance cannot be overstated. I read a UNESCO report, and the statistics stated in the report had me. That was just part of my, connection to this entire pad production. So I learned that there were one in 10 girls in sub-Saharan Africa who skipped classes during the menstrual circle. So I took a pause and started to think that if that could stop them from earning an education, what could not a training education cause these girls? Because I know women, girls, and children are the most vulnerable group in times of conflict. Even not in time of conflict, they still face challenges more than uh, boys or males. So that was just track of the statistics that I saw that drew my attention. But a more personal connection is with my family in rural Liberia. I'm from a very big traditional family, and over 85% of the family live in rural Liberia, specifically Sina County. So they will make routine visit to the city for graduation and all the activities. And most time they come with requests. I have a lot of cousins, I have a lot of nephews, I have a lot of uncles and aunties in rural Liberia in Sina County. So when it comes, they will make requests. Like normally you see a Liberian go to America and want to pack everything and bring it back home for family back here. So most time we help with transportation, we help with some clothes and some food items. So, but this time around, it came from my 16-year-old cousin who requested for some school supplies. So after noticing that sanitary pad was not among these, and it was quickly noticed by my elder sister who joined me to help in the purchase and onward distribution. So I decided to ask. And when I asked, the story was awful. I got to know that she was part of the Wellington girls that UNESCO projected that could not sit in class because they could not have sanitary pads. And besides, even my auntie, who was also asking, do not afford pads because she has this traditional slash religious belief that others not supposed to see the period. So she's not fond of the use of disposable pads. So I thought on a more sustainable way to help because anything's there where they probably see cars maybe once in a while, probably once in a month, or probably twice in a month. I thought that it wouldn't be sustainable. So I started thinking about her and the rest of the other girls and the women there who face similar problem. Then I started to spread to other counties and started to even think in Monrovia or Montserrado alone, given the economic hardship that women face with competing daily priorities. A mother will prefer, you know, paying the school fees or buying food to buying sanitary pads. So when I went to work, I said, yes, then I can start something with pads production that will help girls, that will be affordable enough, and that will be sustainable. So then I noticed I did not have the funding. So I went into a competition, the Orange Social Venture Prize in 2019. So that was when my idea won, though it was not a new idea, but it was extremely a new idea for Liberia. Given the fact that I'm a male coming to address issues that affect women hygiene, and the idea won 3 awards that was total to 2,900 United States dollars. That was how I started Payless Pass, and you know, 2,900 swept quickly. The market was tough, buying machines, getting a building to rent, hiring girls. Salary was awful from the beginning. And we started working, through purchases and other donation from other people, I can say that we uh we can say we're well on the way to increase our production strength, because when we started to produce, the demand started to get high. We started facing some challenges, and the materials that we use, that was my concern also, because since it is washable, it has to be a material that will reduce the chances of causing infection, because you don't want to start to extend a help, then in the end you get to know that it's still causing a problem.
Actually cause more harm. Exactly.
Yeah,
On
yeah,
that
actually
part,
cause
on
more.
that point, Mr. Cole, thank you so much for sharing that story. You spoke about being a man that's addressing a problem in Liberia and how that was novel, especially in our culture. A lot of what you see with period poverty is because of stigma and taboo.
Yeah.
And some of these conversations are not to be had by men. And so speak a little bit about some of the challenges you face as a man and how do you think men around in Liberia can support the cause and not be afraid to do something about it?
Okay. So when I started advocacy, basically my interest was drawn to the most vulnerable population, women and girls and children, and especially the ones that are marginalized. So ever since I started working with women, and we work on no more tailoring projects, free tailoring projects for women to learn skills and earn in the end. So as I went by and got into reusable parts production, it sounded to everyone who I told as though that uh, I'm retiring. So someone is like, Augustine, where are you, where is this idea from? Is it the only thing you can do, Augustine? Will people even buy it, Augustine? I think you need to find something else to do. So they were looking at how embarrassed problem of men would be talking about period, but that was not my focus. My focus was on the problem it will cause when there are no paths for our girls, the challenges their parents face in affording them. That was my main focus. I walked into an open space the other day, and that was when I decided to test my idea with even females. So when I pulled it over, you know, a Liberian has a way of Liberians have a way of mashing the face and a mouth, from the expression that there's not a good idea. But as time went by, I knew I was focused on a particular problem. I was not looking for a space to be seen. I was not looking for a space to be appreciated. I was not looking for a space to be awarded. I was just looking for a greater impact I can make on society. That while we addressing the access to sanitary pads, secondarily, there are other girls who earning from what they produce at our production center. So even from my family, my sister was the only person in America. She was the only person who, when she heard the idea, she donated $1,000 to buttress my effort. The rest down in like, bro, my friends. Every time, every time my name is pronounced, and along with sanitary pad, because it's almost like Augustine becoming synonymous to girls and pads, they will laugh. Even at the time of the competition, at the time of the competition, when they called Payless cloth pad, everybody expected a woman to stand, for a boy stood up. And by then we were really trying to capture our prototype, our first testing material. It didn't look that good because that was the beginning. And I could tell, my senses could tell that even those competing the competition were laughing at me. When I showed the first sample, oh, Augustine, can we see what you're producing? But then the judges were tallying the result. Augustine, can we see what we're producing? When I turned my back, they were laughing. You know, I didn't still back down because I knew I was looking at the statistics that was not good. And things that we overlook, those are things that really perish us a very long way. So in the end of the competition, Peter's Club Files was announced and we won 3 awards. That was when I started getting friends. It's the same with the current situation. They laugh, they laugh, they laugh. In the end, they see how much we are relatively growing towards our vision. And that is when the story started to get better. So if I will encourage any man or boy to venture in this field, because I arguably I'm the only man in Liberia standing in front of a company that produces reusable sanitary pads. So I would tell them the focus is on the change theory. The focus is on what you want to change. The focus is on what you actually want to achieve in the end. And once I lost focus, trust me, on what I want to achieve, I wouldn't be here today. Yep.
Thank you for that. That was very informative. I just wanted to ask, because you were talking about the whole male perspective, have you seen a change in the perspective of males, be they fathers, brothers, in their understanding of the importance of menstrual hygiene and sanitary pads for girls and women in your experience?
Yes. So the first change I see is that my friends around me are already accepting that it's something that they should talk about, and it's something that they should support me. Right now, trust me, they support me a whole lot. They support me a whole lot, and that is why I see the change. And also, we partner with Omona Health, is a local NGO in Liberia, a social reproductive health NGO in Liberia, and we sponsor some of their activities, and they have sex fairs. So through the program, education sex fair, through the program and the messages is shared that we support it, we see that more men coming up. Like last year, there was a sex education fair held in Liberia, and there were teachers to both men and women. I see that there were more men who bought shites, wore the shites, fathers, young people, the wore the shirt, and the shirt were posted.
We lost you a little bit, Mr. Ku. Can you hear him, Sor?
No, I lost. Oh, I think he's coughing.
No, I think unfortunately that was my background. Mr. Ku,
Oh, sorry.
we lost you a little bit. You can start again, please.
Okay. Yeah. So like I said, the local NGO headed by Fanny Taylor, she's just very vocal about, you know, girls' sexual reproductive health, and through through the NGO, and through the program, she printed sheets that was sold to men and women. And once you buy the sheet, it has different messages on it. As a dad, I support my daughter, Pira, and you wear those sheets and take picture and they share on social media with some important statements and messages. So I can see that the narratives are changing by, leaps in the urban area. And I work also with a rural group in Bentor, Coleman Town. So for the fact that the community chairman, who is a male, who go out and select girls who benefit from the paths, that shows that men are coming up, but there's more work needed to be done on a national platform, that men who support these things, that the voices can be heard. Over.
Thank you for that. So I have another question for you. You just mentioned on a national platform, what do you think, as being in this sector and working with the girls and seeing the changes that are coming, what is something you think would make a huge impact nationally that would further your cause of making sure girls are not missing out on their education due to their periods?
Okay, so I've heard a number of times there have been some menstrual health meetings held, but the challenge here in what I want to propose is the perspective of those in authority. It's either they do not know, or either they know, or they just want to be idle, or either they know and there's lack of funding. Because I know through the Ministry of Education, there should be funding and support to create programs that the awareness will be on a national platform. However, I will propose uh, a national menstrual hygiene conference where men will be the speaker. Most men will be the speaker that will come and talk about a period, and if they do not have experience with it, how we can find a solution to the problems that we keep ignoring, So there have been no more events, but Liberia, the story is sad. There have not been no more documents or instrument on a book or a group put together to support this cause. So this is why I'm working through partners like the Zeta, the Hormonal Health. I fear that I cannot be a social business selling at the same time trying to propose an idea. That is my opinion. Trying to propose an idea, then I would rather want to pass it through a local NGO who will take the stand, then invite Payless Pass that will be able to share their experience. But if there will be a recommendation, it will be a national conference that will be held probably at least twice a year or probably once a year. Then maybe in between there could be different events like the sex education fairs, like workshops, like public awareness, most especially in rural places in Liberia.
Thank you. I think that's a very interesting idea, the conference. On to you, Soror.
Yes, absolutely. I think getting awareness, especially in schools, and affecting our young women, they are the ones that need to be told it's not a problem to talk about. It's not a problem to get government assistance with supplying pads in schools, for instance. It shouldn't be something. I agree with you, Augustine, and I thank you so Koyogi for the question. I don't think it's something that only private organizations should be engaged on. It should be a national issue.
Yes, it should be. It should be. Like you see the WASH Commission, I I noticed that the WASH Commission only pay attention to the to the water and probably the sanitation. But the age, they only see probably the age to be something else other than menstrual hygiene. And i- if and I know a male has the WASH Commission. A male will never look at that. A male probably who's not looking from a perspective will never hear the WASH Commission and give attention to affording pads to girls, sustainable menstrual pads. So WASH Commission just probably engage in putting buckets on school campuses that boys and girls will wash their hands, probably to talk about how they can take care of their brush them off in the morning, take bath, clean themselves 3 times a day. I think that is the restrictive message. And it can take a turnaround if we take it as a national issue. Right now, it only looks like an NGO issue. It looks like an individual issue, like Augustine. But soon we start to notice. I pray it shouldn't be late. Soon we start to notice that this is becoming a national crisis and there's no framework in the place. I see you going many steps back.
Yes, thank you so much for, and on that note, I just like to wrap up the conversation and say, actually, this whole International Menstrual Hygiene Day was started as a WASH initiative. Um, WASH United in Berlin, in Germany, put together, they kind of spearheaded this and got, international bodies like the UN and others behind it. And so it is a WASH initiative. It is something that takes multi-sectoral investment in. Um, we need to see it as an access to water issue as well, as it is an access to menstrual pads. So I'm happy that you brought that up. Um, any other last remarks from you, Mr. Cole, in terms of how things that people that want to support menstrual hygiene in Liberia, maybe things that they should pay attention to, and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay, so I want to say thank you for the opportunity to speak on this platform. I know it's an international platform already. So is a call from all sectors that we should pay attention to. I have a daughter, and I don't want to be the father that will not look after those things that challenge her. Sometimes it's just the simple things that matter, and we restrict administration most time to Una Monserrato, but I try to feel for those in rural Liberia. I try to feel for those in rural Liberia, the women, the girls who are really lacking behind. So until we take a concerted and collective efforts, we will not achieve anything. Like you patronize Pass from Payless Pass the other day, it did a lot of things. It, it increased and add positivity to some of our aspects of work. I can safely say that we'll soon be launching our biodegradable disposable parts that will be made from banana stem. So the idea is just to increase access more. And I think we need more collaboration.
That's
Like,
exciting. So all of the
yeah.
pads that Payless Pads produces, those are made in Liberia.
Yes, the main Liberia.
So sustainable as well. And any testimonials you can share, people, are they available in supermarkets? How, if anyone was interested in purchasing Payless Pads for their daughter or their niece, where can they find it?
Okay, so what our challenge from the second year is coming into the market because, if the demand is high and our production center cannot be able to meet up to those demand, we will crash. So we were avoiding getting on shelves, getting in the market, and just work strictly with NGOs like yours, like the Joy Starfish Foundation for a certain period. So over the period, the purchases you've made, and we've been able to expand our workforce, we can safely say that we are initiating our supply chain mechanism. We are building kiosks that will be placed into the markets. Like we have two already set for Gardnersville Market, and we negotiated with three different organizations in rural Liberia that will also be our point of sale. So as time goes by, we will be extending to various shops and the supermarket. So it's a gradual process, and getting to these places really will take a lot of time, effort, and money. And the money will push it that much. So we already have those skills. We identify people who already will be in it to be selling so that it will not have to be somebody always come to pay the spot before you get those spots. And we sell online for partners abroad that we will do delivery on the behalf based on certain quantity. But for now, we are building kiosks that will be to various locations, including high schools, where we want to make it reachable. We want to make it because I noticed that even for girl try to go and buy parts to the drugstore, I see most of the time they shy to get it and they want to put in black plastic bag. So to address that also will be finding influential mothers, like mothers that people can run to every time for advice. They will be our point of sale also. So I can safely say that we we already built two kiosks to put them into the market.
That's exciting. That's super exciting. We look forward to continuing our partnership with Payless Pass. Again, we have an adopter school in Painesville, which we benefited 260 girls last May 28th for International Menstrual Hygiene Day. And we look
Yep.
forward to continuing that partnership and supporting you and directing people to those kiosks to support a Liberian-owned business that is trying to be the solution to the problem. Because what I like about Payless Pads is that, you know, just like Zeta, we are community conscious, action oriented organization. When action, we mean solutions. And so it takes, I guess, someone within the community sometimes to find the solution. And you have done that. We're very proud of you. We're proud of your organization. And if there are no closing remarks from Sorority, I would just play our closing video, which was the video we started out with some facts about the day. And just to thank you for your time. Sorority, would you want to say anything before we play that again?
I would just like to say thank you so much, Mr. Koo. Again, I really applaud your efforts, especially getting the men involved, because having strong allies is so important for disadvantaged groups. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So just bear with me. Let me start sharing my screen. And thank you again, Mr. Koo. So 1 second.
Thank you.
Thank you so much again. That marks the end of our Blue Palava Hut talk. We look forward to working with you again, Mr. Koo, and thank you so much for being on the line.
Okay, thank you so much.
Saturday.